A lot of people don't understand the difference in gender and sexuality and your gender identity, and you know, that's how you feel as a person and want to be seen and perceived by people. And then of course sexual orientation is who you love and who you want to be with. And now both can be a lot more fluid. I realized I am a girl, like, I think like in middle school. Back then I didn't really have like the vocabulary for it, like, oh, like I'm trans or I'm transgender. People don't really understand, you know, transness and trans identities. I definitely got picked on a lot growing up, and because I was different, you know, I think people just kind of gravitate to like either celebrate that or tear you down. I was always with the girls, so, you know, people thought I was weird or prissy, or, you know, being assigned male at birth and being forced to, like, you know, do stuff with the boys, or, you know, have to, you know, going into like locker rooms and stuff, like that was so like scary. Like I couldn't go into the girls' locker room, so you kind of feel like you're like, where do I go? Like, what do I do? So you feel really kind of like, for me, like I felt really kind of like timid. You're sure in yourself, but I think kind of like outside opinions and, you know, what people say contradicts you in a way. So it can be kind of confusing and isolating. And coming out as gay was like a stepping stone, I think, because, you know, like I said, I was really feminine growing up, and people just associated my femininity with being gay. I was just really feminine, so like, you know, people just thought that was me being gay. So, you know, like that's what people kind of like placed on me. So I was like, okay, like I guess I have to like come out as gay, and like that'll appease people. But that still wasn't really like it for me. I did know I wasn't being myself. I think I was just kind of, you know, scared to like admit I was trans, because it's a tough thing to kind of come to terms with, and, you know, telling everyone and transitioning, it's a pretty, you know, like intense journey. You know, when I first started going to the city and finding people like me and starting to be more of myself, I hadn't totally found my final form and my actual self. I had gone to Orlando Pride. It's usually the same weekend as Atlanta Pride, and I went to Orlando instead with one of my best friends, and he introduced me to a lot of showgirls down there that are trans women. And I remember being at one of the shows and like the curtain opened, and I was like, oh my God, I was like, they're like glamazons. Like I was like, they're so cool. I remember coming home after that trip, and that's when I started growing my hair out, and I was like, I didn't tell anyone for a long time, but I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this. I definitely believe in like finding yourself, but I also believe in like creating yourself. And my journey, I think to some people really only began like a year or two ago, but for me it's been a lot longer.